So we've got some stones here, don't we? Okay, so starting with red. Sorry, the plastic's gonna not make them look as nice, but hopefully you get the idea. Here's some carnelian. It's kind of like a reddish, brownish color. It's a really pretty stone. It's kind of a type of agate. I would explain each one of these to you, but that would take forever. Here's some desert jasper. God, the plastic is making it hard, but it's like a really deep reddish brown. It's not as translucent as the carnelian, and it's got kind of that deep mustard mixed with some of those medium browns, and then like that really rich, almost dark chocolate brown on the back. Sorry, the shine is like really messing up how you can see the color. I'll try to maybe go through one more time with just individual stones. Here is some Mookaite jasper. You can see it's like got this almost wine red. It's like sometimes a little brown, but wine, and it's also got that yellow, so it's very similar to the desert jasper, but the mustard is going to be a bit muted. Here is what was this one called? Spotted jasper. So here's some spotted jasper. You've got your browns and your mustards. Obviously, I like these very earthy colors. Here is petrified wood. And so this is like some fossilized petrified wood. It's actually a lot prettier than I'm making it look, just because, again, the plastic is taking away some of the natural look to it. But it's really pretty. And here is a piece of polka dot jasper that I actually got as a gift for buying a gajillion stones. That one's okay. I mean, it doesn't feel like these other ones have a lot of depth to them. This one is more just like, I don't know, just like a fun stone to have for my collection or something. Here is some Turritella. Turritella is actually from around like the North Dakota, Montana region. So these are millions of years old, actually. They're snail fossil. And you can see over time, right, the fossils got embedded in the earth. And so what they did was they dug them up and they were able to shape them into cabochons like stone. So there's earth in here too, but you can see literally like these little circles that have developed because of the snails, which I thought was pretty interesting. These are also fossils. This is Orthoceras, but this is from a sea. They were like little crustaceans. God, this is a terrible demonstration, I'm sorry. So you can actually still see the shape and the ridging. They're actually smooth. They've been calved down to be really smooth. But they're pretty neat as well, and you can still see a lot of the imperfections from where the shells were either damaged or whatever before they were smooth and to make into usable jewelry stones. These are also another species. You can see a slight difference in shape, and then also the ridging is a bit different. And then I've got I've got a whole bunch of stuff. I've got blues, so these are like K2 jasper, there's apatite, amazonite, and stuff. You said reds and browns, so there's some earthy blues. So this is turquoise from Tibet. Not quite like American turquoise, it's a little more affordable. But I actually sometimes like it better because it's got like tons of marbling in different colors and different matrices. And so those are pretty neat. These are kind of cool. So this is when they take spiny oyster, which is a shell in the Baja Peninsula, the Sea of Cortez, which is below California, off the coast of Mexico. And so the orange, it's like an orange, pink, red shell that also comes in purple. And what they do is they use this shell to make stones. Well, not stones, but you know what I mean, like usable pieces like jewelry. And then there's turquoise as well, and then copper. So what they do is, because all of these spiny oyster turquoise are very expensive, like this is Kingman turquoise, when they're cutting stones and big pieces of the spiny oyster, they have a lot of chips and pieces left. So what they do is they actually take it and they combine it with like this kind of epoxy, and then they're able to form it down by compressing the bricks, and then they cut the bricks to form like these cabochon style stones. So it's kind of an affordable way to get this really unique, beautiful mix. So you still get the colors of the turquoise and the spiny oyster, but there is some resin mixed in there to keep it binded. So they actually end up really smooth. Whereas with like American turquoise, you get pits and a lot of cracks and matrices because turquoise itself is very chalky and difficult to work with. It's actually quite fragile. Then I've got some dendrite agate. These are pretty cool. They have like these really kind of, I don't know, it looks like kind of snowflakes, right? And they come in all, I have a bunch of these because these are pretty affordable. And the agate is, you see the agate here, and the dendrite comes just from the minerals that surround it as it's forming. So that's pretty neat. Here's some black and yellow onyx that have been formed together. So they take black onyx, they take yellow onyx, and they cut it into pieces, and then they're able to bond them together, which I thought was pretty freaking neat. This is Unakite. I mean, it's pretty girly. Sometimes it tends to have more of the brown and pinkish color. The green I think is really pretty, but it's on the softer side in terms of femininity and stuff. I made 2 necklaces, one from one of my best friends and her daughter when I went to Cincinnati last month. And let's see what else I've got here. Some nephrite jade, which are pretty, without being able to, so you can see some of the translucency there. I've got purples, so I've got like some amethyst, obviously our birthstone. This is chevron amethyst. Again, you're not able to see how beautifully translucent this is, but it is very pretty. And then I've got fluorite, which is also a translucent purple stone, and it gets bandings of like a translucent greenish color. You can see there. So those are really pretty. And then this one, I think this was trapeche amethyst, yeah. So the bottom one was fluorite. Top one was trapeche amethyst. This is charoite. It's not translucent, but it's also like got this beautiful swirling of this purple mineral. Here's some different agates here. So here's moss agate. Hard to tell, but it's actually more like a greenish, deep evergreen marbling in there. And it almost looks like there's pieces of moss in there, which is where it gets its name from. Some Montana agate. So Montana agate has some of those browns, like deep chocolate. Sometimes a little bit of that rust color, but for rust, I actually have one called iron quartz. And there's actually literally rusted iron inside of this beautiful translucent quartz. God, I'm so sorry. This is a terrible demonstration. There's just so many stones to go through. I can't take them all out of the bags, or otherwise it'd be like a 30-minute video. But if there's any that you want to see specifically, I can take them out and look. But yeah, you can see it's a clear quartz, and then it's got like these beautiful rustic iron, almost like striations in there. And here's some other, like that's a Botswana agate. Here's another, this is a black banded agate. It's very pretty. This is a Botswana agate. So agate is almost like a glass. It's like, I mean, it's a stone. It's formed by the earth, but it's really got a lot of glass-like properties. Some different things over here. These little baby moonstones. Not quite super comfortable yet, like working with tiny faceted stones like this. I mean, I have to learn a little better how to set them. But, I might as well get some and start practicing, right? And these are really pretty. They're cut. The cut is called step cut. So it's like this guy looks like a little Superman symbol or something. But they're really pretty, and they've got a lot of fire in there, you can see, with just the tiniest bit of light. Like they have the rainbow. These are selenite here. So selenite is very witchy, right? People that are really spiritual love selenite. Those are all pairs, so I can make earrings and that kind of stuff. There's some white moonstone. There's a big piece of selenite. Here's some more rainbow moonstone. You can see as I pass the light through, it has like that really beautiful rainbow. Some bumblebee jasper. It's kind of like this this sulfur. So the main reason that it's this yellow is that it's heavy in sulfur. So it's actually, it almost looks fake because the yellow is so strong. So people sometimes question it, but actually it's one of the only jaspers. Whereas I have this blue jasper that's been dyed, but it also looks very cool. But it's dyed. I don't know where that is right now. Sorry. Oh, here. So this is I forget what they called it. It's ripple jasper, but it's actually originally, I think, more grayish black stone, and what they've done is they've dyed it, and it still turned out pretty cool, to be honest with you. It actually looks less fake color-wise than the bumblebee, but the bumblebee is actually real in terms of the color. So let's see, here's some tiger's eye, which is, I love this style because it's actually got some blues and stuff. So when Tiger's Eye has natural blue, it's called Hawk's Eye. And people think that red Tiger's Eye is more real than blue, which is not true. Blue Tiger's Eye is actually more natural. Red Tiger's Eye is yellow that's been heat treated, and it brings out like a reddish color. So these, I love how natural these look versus like some of the really overly yellow natural Tiger's Eye, because it's, I don't know, these just have more character. But anyways, then I've got these, again, little baby facets. So I mean, I've got amethyst facets, I've got kyanite, which is this beautiful blue color. It's like this soft blue color. Bought these probably to make earrings. They're already drilled. I've got more amethyst here, some lighter color amethyst. And then I've got different garnets. So these are pyrope garnets from Mozambique and other parts of Africa. So these ones are, they're tiny. I mean, you can see my fingernail there. I want to say these are like 6 millimeters maybe. These are rounds, and then I've got these guys, which were, no, those are onyx. I've got this one, oh yeah, I've got this one bigger oval shape of the pyrope garnet as well. And if I really get in there we go. You can start to see some of the reddish color. When you shine the light directly through it, it's like red. When you shine the light a little bit like this, you get kind of that rosy, almost pinkish red. So it really depends on the lighting. I'm just showing you those because you mentioned she liked red. But again, I don't know exactly what I could do with those. If I made earrings, I could do kind of like a prong setted back with an open hole in the middle to kind of set the pointy part down. It would take maybe some thought. So I don't know exactly, you know, if I can do some stuff with wire and do wire wrapping, or I can take some of that copper sheet metal and I can make something like I made for my niece and her mother recently with the black onyx and the labradorite, where I did like the textured copper plate and did a prong setting for some medium-sized stones. Those turned out really well, and those were my first and second tries, and they still turned out really well. So now I would know a little better what I was doing, although I'm still practicing. I've bought a lot of stones, obviously. So these last ones are prehnite, and prehnite is this really beautiful green with these like fibrous striations of a deeper green color, and that's really pretty. Oh, and then I've got lapis lazuli, which is a lot of natives used it. It's got a really bold blue color with some of this pyrite gold inclusions, so it's got like this gold sparkle to it almost. And then some sodalite, which is also another more earthy blue. So you've got like a deep blue color with it, and just a bunch of earthy matrices. And then I've got stuff I'm saving for later. So these are, I mean, I could pull out. I love labradorite so much. Labradorite, these are a little more rough cut here. And so you can see that just like rainbow moonstone, you get these crazy colors when you have the light shine over it. Some of them are just blue, some of them are called spectralite, which means they're hitting the oranges and the golds and even the reds, sometimes even greens. The more colors, the more valuable it is. So like in this bottom one here, you can see the oranges flashing, the blue, the green. And you know, I just got endless amounts of these because they're so fucking beautiful, and people just eat them up. So this one is cool because the artist carved it when they actually cut the stone. They carved this beautiful